Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles of the Great Millstone who rule well in true sincerity. Also, shalom to you elders and bishops and teachers and brothers and scribes and helps who are in these camps of four corners of earth. Thank you by living sacrifice for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Also, shalom to number one men, women, and children who are coming back to the fold, the end. And to you, I say shalom. Lord's willing, we all make it to those chariots, right? And our friends and family, that we all be saved and avoid this nuclear destruction that's coming to America, aka Babylon, aka America. Slack you. My name is Yerah Abad from the 11th Hour Israelite Camp in San Francisco, coming to you another walk and talk. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to all you new believers out there. And my first precept is from Habakkuk 2:1. And it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me. So we, man of the Lord, right, are the tower watchmen, in modern day times. In ancient times, when you had a kingdom, you built walls around your kingdom, right, to avoid attacks from other invaders. And you put watchmen on the tower to constantly watch the outside of these walls, kind of activity, and to warn the people of certain activity. And how we do that is by blowing trumpets. Different sounds have different meanings, right, for the people to act accordingly when the alarm is being sounded. And to see what he was saying to me. So what we're actually watching for is not only the man of the Lord watching for is prophecies. We're watching for events. We're watching for certain events to take place. These prophecies take place. You know what I mean? And to not only filter it through the scriptures, also filter these current events through scriptures, right? To give our people the warning, right? And also to warn the other nations who look to us for the answers, even though a lot of them don't. A lot of them scoff and mock, at the man of the Lord. We have the answers. We have the 100.1% truth, right? That's given to us by Habba Shema Shai through the apostles on down. It says, and what shall I say, answer when I am reproved? And the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that read it. And so our job is to make this plain upon tables. Our job is to write this on paper and to give it to the rest of the nations and to the whole earth. The things that are going to befall this earth, right? And the inhabitants who are in it, right? Despite what people think in 2025, in July, that everything's going to be okay. That everything's go back to normal. And that this Trump phenomenon is only the last 4 years. And, but what they don't realize is everything's not going to be okay. Everything will not go back to normal. Everything will not be as it was. If anything, it will go back. It's going to get worse before it gets better, right? Mark my words. Because the prophecies state that it's supposed to get worse before it gets better. And there'll be a transition between kingdoms, right? Between Esau and Jacob's kingdom, right? Let me bring out the second precept to that. You know what I'm saying? Take a breather, right? So let's go to the second precept real quick. Let's bring out let's go to 2 Ezra 6 and 9. You know what I mean? Yeah. Second Ezra. Let me pull it up. 6 and 9. And it reads, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth." So this is literally we're literally at a crossroads. We're literally watching two kingdoms converge together. You know what I mean? And there's an old expression saying that no two kings can share rulership, right? So it's either going to be one king or the other. There'll be no two kingdoms, no two kings and two kingdoms, right? Because the Lord's not going to share power with these heathens. You know what I mean? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Let me continue. Habakkuk 2 and 3. But at the end shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it surely will come. It will not tarry. Right. Because these prophecies are not tarrying anymore. They're actually starting to pick up day by day. I can only imagine what the apostles went through 10 years ago while the prophecies were in limbo in between. I can only imagine, that there was no activity, in that time. There was no moving forward. But today, Apostle Hart thinks and declares that what's his name? The Cheeto master, right? Could be responsible for bringing the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Which I totally agree, because I can see that happening. I can see Cheeto's master, fucking the Cheeto man, bringing in a digital charagma, being a digital system. I can truly see it. Right? So let me go to. Let me look around a little bit. Yeah. Let me go to. Let me keep going. Behold, it says Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not right in him. Right. So whose soul is not right? Whose soul has been lifted up in his kingdom, right? To a very high status. It definitely wasn't the Negro, Latino, Native Americans. We definitely don't have no seat at the high table at the, you know what I mean, at the G7 or at the other committees that require worldly attention, right? Because of the pride, because Esau's pride, you know what I mean. He's lifted up, by his works, and whatever his works, steal, right? To rob, basically to rob, to murder, to enslave, you know what I mean, to hurt, this earth and the people in it. But the just shall live by faith. Who are the just? We are the just. We of the hopeful elect of the governing body of the hopeful 144,000 men of each tribe, the nation of Israel, right? And also the innumerable 1/3 men, women, children who come back to this fold, right? And come back to this truth, come back to their family. Those are the just. We're the just. Lord will, we are those men, we're the just, right? We live by faith, because this is a faith-based family affair. Because without faith, you can't move mountains. Without faith, you can't do anything. Because the Lord requires faith. Not only does he require living sacrifice, he requires 140% faith that we believe in him, right? That he is our Father, and his only begotten Son, and that we're his people. And we believe that wholeheartedly, right? And we believe it with every fiber of our soul, our being. Let me go to the scripture. Okay, let's go to Job 9:24. Okay, let's go to Job 9:24, and it reads, "The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered." Who are the wicked? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who are the wicked? You so-called white people, right? You Edomites. You guys are the wicked. You guys are the ones who inherited the earth by rape, rob, and murder and stealing of people's property and stealing of people's cultures and stealing, their lands and stealing fucking the resources, stealing, basically put their hands on every living thing on this earth, what it can obtain, right? That's wicked. Being covetous is wicked. Enslaving people is wicked. Hurting people is wicked, right? You know what I mean? Especially for mammon, for filthy lucre's sake. That's wicked. He covered the faces of judges thereof, right? So how did he cover faces? By iconoclasm, by Esau called white people wiping out and eroding. We call it not only the past, as far as history is concerned, but also iconoclasm, which also consists of wiping away all the mosaic art, right? Whether it be sculptures, whether it be scribes, or whether it be scrolls. Scrolls, whether it be, a parchment, anything that has to do with the past of Israel, which is very little because we didn't, our people wasn't really heavy into, a lot of artwork, you know what I mean? That's how you cover the judges, right? By painting them white. By promoting that they're white. The Lord Yahweh Shai was white. The angels were white. Right, the people, the Israelites are white. That's far from the truth. That's the opposite. That's a complete lie. If not, where and who is he? Yeah, so if a so-called white man, Esau Edom is not who he says he is, right? And he's supposed to be us, supposed to be Israelite. And then where and who is he? Lord asked a rhetorical question, kind of, right? Lord's talking shit. Well, if it's not him, then who? You know what I mean? Put him out. Last time I checked, Job was speaking clearly on who the wicked was, and just completely described them and how they were. Let's go to the next scripture. Okay, let's go to Amos 3:2. All right. Let's give me a second. 3:2, and it reads that this salvation, what do you call it? And the Lord is only saving his people, saving his elect, saving who he deems worthy, what do you call it, to be called his chosen. And it says, Amos 3:2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I punish you for all your iniquities, which means the Lord only knows the Israelites, and those are his people, and none else, right? So Esau had promoted a lie with the four corners of the earth for centuries, saying that he was chosen, saying he was anointed, saying he carried the covenant, that he held the blood in his bones. You know what I mean? That he was rightful heir. It's all a lie, 144% lie, right? But what is the truth? That the Lord only knows us. He only loves the Israelites. He only loves so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, right? And he's only going to save a remnant of us, right? Only a remnant are going to make it out this time. Only a remnant, right, are going to be saved, right? Let me pull that out, bring it out. Let's go. One second. Give me a second, Israel. One second, Israel. This is one I want to bring out. Give me a second. Okay, once. I just brought that one out. Yeah, that's it. Let's go. Let me, hold on, Slack-Yakim. Let me do this real quick. Two. 1 second, Israel. 1 second. I'm bringing it up right now. 1 second. There it is. So Zechariah. There you go. So Zechariah 13 and 8. And it reads, let's go to the NLT. 2/3 of my people in the land will be cut off and die, saith the Lord. 1/3 shall be left therein. So basically, 2/3 of the nation of Israel aren't going to make it out of this salvation. 2/3 of people aren't going to make it, past the allotted time because they refuse to come back to the Lord. They love to follow Esau and his ways, love to follow so-called white man and their plight, you know what I mean, and to make it their own. They know that we have our own culture, we have our own language, we have our own customs, we have our own way of doing things, how to govern ourselves, how to deal with each other. We have laws, very specific, how to run a kingdom. And our people refuse to listen to those laws. If anything, they get offended, right? Talking about, I want to see you guys burn in hell, all kinds of other crazy shit that these 2/3 niggas come up with. You know what I mean? Let's go to next precept. Let's go to Jeremiah 51 and 11, right? Kind of all over the place, forgive me. You know what I mean? Let's go here. Let's go to Jeremiah 51:11. Let's go back. And it reads, so let me start up. So it's Jeremiah 51:1, 51:10. This is the Lord, Yahweh brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord of Yahweh Shemashai, our power. Right? So this is the reason why we need salvation. Right? We need to get away from these heathens. We need to get away from their evil ways. Their evil, what do you call it? Their conduct is anti-Mashiach, and we definitely got to fucking distance ourselves and separate ourselves from these people. If not, we're gonna fucking share the same fate. And this is why it says Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows, gather their shields. Lord Yahweh Shemashai hath raised up a spirit in the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it. See, the Lord has raised up the Medes, right? Which is what do you call it? Your Persians. You know what I'm saying? To raise up, the Persians, the Medes, in these last days, right? Especially Gog and Magog. You know what I mean? That whole Levant is being raised up to bomb, Babylon, which is America in World War III. And that's the reason why we need to get away from you heathens. We don't want to share the same fate. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get right with the Lord. You know what I mean? Not piss him off more, right? Because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, the vengeance of his temple, right? So the next one, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, which is us, which is the men of the Lord, right? We are the standard that are on the walls of Babylon, proclaiming the day of the Lord is coming, proclaiming destruction, proclaiming what we call our last days on this earth, or last days, in Babylon. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, which is us, prepare the ambushes, which is the Lord's plagues are coming upon the earth, upon Babylon, which is already here, and it's starting to build up too. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which is spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. So basically, the Lord is rising up against the inhabitants of Babylon, and you're seeing it throughout His works, right? You're seeing it on the internet. You're seeing, how the Lord gets down. Whether you die by floods, you die by fire, you die by by famine, or you die by the lack of spirit. You know what I mean? The Lord will take your money away, and take your spirit away. You know what I'm saying? Not only kill you, but make you feel hopeless. So the Lord has many ways of dealing with this fuckery in Babylon, and He's tired of it, right? So now the Lord's making his return, right? He's gonna continue to decrease. We call it the plagues of Babylon, right? And continue to bring the so-called white man down to his knees, right? And to basically, and at the end of the day, decimate him, Right? So those are the goals. Oh my Lord, those are the wishful hopes of a hopeful elect, the Hebrew Israelites, and that's what you yearn for, and that's what we're waiting for, right? So this is a quick little hit, that's made up, on the fly in my spirit, right? Lord willing is edifying. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kavadash. Double honors the Apostle Great Millstone, who rule Israel in true sincerity. And shalom to you bishops and elders and prophets and teachers and scribes and helps that are in this camp, so a full cause of earth, making a body live sacrifice. My name is Yerah Abad, right? I'm an Israelite at 11 Hour Camp in San Francisco. Coming to you another walk and talk. This, a quick hit. Lord willing, this is edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.